Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of FPV Trick Theory, where we improve our freestyle one battery at a time. Today we're talking about a very important yet seldom discussed topic that really separates the decent pilots from the really good pilots, and that is avoiding mistakes and covering up mistakes. So obviously stick time is a huge factor in your consistency. Generally, the more you fly, the less mistakes you'll make. However, there are some ways to accelerate your consistency. So that's what we're covering in this video. Let's get in the air and make some mistakes. Alright, so first let's talk about how to avoid making mistakes in the first place. First thing you should do is subscribe to this YouTube channel. It'll instantly make you a better pilot. Next thing is to check your speed and your aggression. Obviously, if you're flying super fast and super aggressive, you're going to crash more. So if you want to fly consistent, you need to be in that consistent mindset. Okay, maybe dial it back a little bit, give yourself a little more space on your obstacles. Seems obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because in the moment you can just be having a good time and just be really going for it, but obviously that's going to cost you in the mistakes department. Next thing is to think about your line. So basically, if you start wide and tuck the maneuver in tighter, it's a lot easier to adjust and avoid mistakes than if you start too tight. So what do I mean by that? If I take a split S and I overshoot it a lot like that, it's a lot easier for me to just add a little bit of throttle right here, tuck that maneuver in, and it looks very smooth and mistake free. Whereas if I try to be really tight in the beginning, oh no, all of a sudden I'm about to crash because I tried to go too tight and too risky, and all of a sudden I need to point the quad in the complete opposite direction. Right? I need to point the quad up like this to get away from the obstacles. Same thing for just a simple turn, right? If I start out wide here and I want to go between these trees, I can just add more throttle and more bank angle and just tuck it in and fly between those trees. If I start too tight, I'm heading towards that tree. I need to point the quad away from the tree. It's super awkward that way. So start wide and tuck it in. Don't start too tight and too risky. Now the meat of this video is how to deal with mistakes after you've already made them. So the principle of this is basically you need to point the quad away from the obstacle you're about to hit, and you need to do that in some kind of smooth or imperceptible manner. So again, if we come up short on a split S, I can add in a roll so that I can give throttle and boost the quad away from those trees. So again, come up short, flip the quad over, add throttle, and then finish the roll. And if you do it really smooth, which I kind of discussed in the hang time video, come up short, smooth. It looks like I didn't even make a mistake at all, even though my initial plan was to just do a normal split S, like so. Similar story for our left turn example. If I'm going to come up too close to this, I can bank the quad away, do a little yaw spin, and then maybe do another rewind on top of it. And rewinds really help. Again, watch that video, that episode. Rewinds really help because usually when you're trying to recover from some sort of mistake, it's a bit jarring. You're banking the quad super aggressively away from something, like, oh, I have to bank, and then you have to do this, but then if you add in something aggressive afterwards as well, you've done it twice now, so it seems intentional even though it was a mistake to begin with. And a similar example, and probably the most awkward, is if you're flying straight at an object and you need to just pitch back and bail. If you throw in like a little back flip or front flip or something, again, that's two abrupt motions in a row. So bail, maybe an extra roll as well, 3 abrupt motions in a row, and that can make it look a little bit less like you just, oh no, bailed, and then all of a sudden I'm just in this awkward spot. So just keep flying, add some tricks in, and try to take things wide to avoid making mistakes in the first place. That's it for this episode of FPV Trick Theory. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video or learned something from it. And let me know in the comments what other episodes you'd like to see in the future. They can be trick tutorials or more abstract topics like today's video. Any ideas are appreciated. Thanks for watching.